I'm not sure if it's because she's a woman or it's because they want to have that seat. You know, because there are things they want to get from that seat. And they want it. It's just a pure fight for power. And what I like about Ellen is that as a woman, she's not frightened to fight for power. She's not frightened of power.
At the third Heroes of Healing event, Dr. Maria Friedman was honored for her work with our Homeless Women's Shelter and the Homeless Artists Program. Major speakers included Philip Mangano, Executive Director of the U.S. Interagency Council on Homelessness, and Robert Hess, New York City Commissioner of the Department of Homeless Services. The conference honored the citywide homeless shelters, as well as the volunteers and agencies and religious institutions for their programs and advocacy efforts on behalf of the increasing number of homeless persons in New York City.
Just in the last 2 years, the number of people sleeping on the streets of the city has declined by over 15%, in large part because of the work that each of you do. Over 300 individuals each night sleep in the safety and with volunteers in churches and synagogues across this city, and we thank you for that. We need to do more.
Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. That's what's so brilliant every time we meet someone who was once homeless and who no longer is, because they're living out that substance. They bear evidence.
Since its beginning in 1982, the Women's Shelter has been administered by the Social Service Board, who developed an association with the Partnership for the Homeless, the Antonio Olivieri Center, and New York City. Dr. Maria Friedman, our board shelter director, coordinates the selfless volunteers who oversee the sleeping arrangements for the women. Our shelter area consists of a warm dormitory and all the basic necessities of a normal home. For 32 years, we are proud to be a part of this partnership that cares for and nurtures women, and women who are without a home, and giving them the caring support to gather up their lives again while they find employment and a new home. One of the board's major goals has been providing funding for children's soccer teams playing in Queens. Board member Henry Bunch, who is also the president of Team La Liga, has been coordinating these efforts for boys and girls teams playing outdoors in the summer and indoors in the winter. Most come from underprivileged homes. They not only play but learn discipline and leadership skills. The majority of the players are from Latino countries, and they also participate in the annual World Peace Games. The Social Service Board sponsorship is part of our main mission to aid and support the lives of children. Every year, the Social Service Board's Grants and Scholarship Committee, in partnership with the Puerto Rican Family Institute, arranges this child's dream come true. What could be more wonderful for an inner city kid than spending summer weeks in a horse camp in Maine? Our grants have also provided library expansion to the Northside Center for Child Development, as well as scholastic funds to children of incarcerated parents through the Osborne Association of New York. We have also given scholarship grants to children attending the East Harlem School. In 1989, the Social Service Board initiated the Supervised Visitation Project. For 22 years, we have provided visitation services for children and their non-custodial parents. In 2012, we are proud to be evolving the SVP project into a televisiting project. Using modern technology and in partnership with the Osborne Association, we will be providing televised visiting services between children and their incarcerated parent. In many cases, this will alleviate the extreme burden of children traveling hundreds of miles to visit their parent, and also protecting the child from a very traumatic environment. Founded in 1992 by attorneys Barry Schecht and Peter Neufeld, the Innocence Project provides pro bono post-conviction legal assistance to persons whose claims of innocence might be proven through the modern science of DNA testing. It has freed over 225 people through DNA testing, 15 of whom were on death row. We at the Society and the Board have been able to finance many tests in order to exonerate innocent victims. The Social Service Board is a founding member of the All Healers Mental Health Alliance, AMHA, a group of psychiatrists, clergy, and other mental health professionals who organize long-term responses to the mental health needs of disasters such as the World Trade Center, Hurricane Katrina, the Haitian earthquake, and the BP oil spill. To aid those people of the Gulf Coast, we have discovered such poverty that we've agreed to aid those afflicted by what we are calling Poverty in America, the Silent Disaster. Ethical culture leader Kurt Collier, along with other society members, have also aided AMHA in helping poor Black and Vietnamese fishermen of Louisiana after the BP oil spill by collecting donations, buying equipment and supplies, and delivering them personally to the fishermen. We were asked by the American Red Cross to write a chapter for their soon-to-be-published updated disaster manual. We have also underwritten the work of an indigenous videographer, Antoinette Harold, in documenting the plight of poor fishermen in the Gulf region. This video was presented to media, politicians, and other interested parties in 2011 at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C.
Now you're sitting here with your Bible.
Right,
This is your home?
right. No electricity, no lights. This is where I'm standing right now.
Senior citizens are the fastest growing demographic part of our population, with people over 100 years the fastest. Empowering Ethical Elders is an expansive program of twice-monthly presentations, bringing experts to the service of seniors, family caregivers, and the general public to promote physical, mental, and emotional health through the empowerment of knowledge. The program also provides support, social workers, and senior exercise trainers who are available for consultation. Another major senior program has been the creating of emotionally uplifting greeting cards to be distributed to senior shut-ins. In our beginning, Social Service Board members were required to be licensed social workers. We have since opened the board to include all concerned members of our society who desire to put their ethics into action. You don't even need to be a member of the Society for Ethical Culture. You only need the willingness to work for the benefit and social needs of children and our society in general. If you have an idea, bring it to us. If you know a way to increase our funding, come on board. You can join the Social Service Board, or you can become a friend of the board. For further information on how to get active, consult our webpage. I'd like to leave you with this final thought. It's people like you who share our faith in the future, people who see the need to give social service and put ethics into action, fulfilling the challenging need of our times. Help us to build a more ethical world. I'd like to call up now to the stage Social Service Board members and collaborators. J. Sophia Elijah Esquire, who is the Executive Director of the Correctional Association of New York. Robert Ganji, former of the Correctional Association and now with the Urban Justice Institute Police Reform Organizing Project, PROP. Reverend Dr. Willard Ashley, who is a SSB member, and AMHA, these are all SSB members, by the way, and also with AMHA, and he's the Director of Field Education and Associate Professor of Practical Theology at the New Brunswick Theological Seminary. He is the founder and senior pastor of Abundant Joy Community Church in Jersey City, the interim pastor at Union Baptist Church in Montclair, and he also has co-edited a book on disaster spiritual care, and he's my Rev. We have Dr. Ivan Kerbalou, who's the Vice Chair of the Social Service Board, and also from the Puerto Rican Family Institute. Dr. Maria Friedman, whom you all know, needs no introduction. Eric Norlander, who is director at the Consumer Reports, and he's Director of Productions. He'll explain that. Rosemary Irving, EEE social worker. Mark Zilberman, EEE social worker. Rob Hoffman is our senior care manager and physical activist. We have Tanya Krupat's son is not feeling well today, and the Osborne Association is represented by David Conleaf, Esquire, and Dana LeMaster of the Osborne Association, and Dr. Thelma Dye, who is the Executive Director of the Northside Center for Child Development. And I'd like to, and each of them are going to give, in the order that they came up on the stage, they're going to give a few remarks. We'll start with Sophia Elijah.
Thank you, Dr. Ross, and thank you to the Social Service Board and the Ethical Cultural Society for putting on this event, and thank you to you for coming out on such a beautiful day. I know there's many other things you would do with a snow-free day, but I'm glad that you are here. It is my pleasure, this is my first time being able to address the Ethical Cultural Society Social Service Board. I am the new Executive Director of the Correctional Association, which is a not-for-profit organization focused on dealing with the conditions of confinement, primarily for people incarcerated in New York State. We are this year 168 years old, and founded in 1844, and then 2 years later, the New York State Legislature passed a mandate authorizing us to go inside the prisons, interview prisoners, staff, and administrators, gather information about what's happening behind the walls, and report that information out to you, the public, our elected officials, and the media. And we advocate for policy change to improve the conditions, the lives of the people, the voice of the voiceless. Excuse me. We also look at a number of other issues involving criminal justice, juvenile justice, and parole reform. We have the unique opportunity to be on the cutting edge on many of these issues. And for those of you who are keeping up with these issues, you may have noticed, thank you, that just recently in the New York Times, our governor announced in his budget changes in juvenile justice reform that would bring young people who have been placed by the family court from the care of the state and bring them back to New York City if they are originally from New York City. And then also dovetailing with some of our work is the issue of older prisoners. Some of you probably saw the article in the New York Times on Friday, and then just this current week's issue of the New Yorker, there's another lengthy article about incarcerated individuals. So the work of the Correctional Association focuses on all of those issues and many, many more. After the event at our lunch, I'll have some materials for you. Please do not miss the beautiful color photo of Dr. Ross on the back of our newsletter, and also a small brochure. In light of the time, I won't elaborate anymore. I welcome you to go to our website, thecorrectionalassociation.org, which elaborates in a lot of detail the work that we do around juvenile justice, women in prison, and our prison visiting project. Thank you very much.
Robert Ganji.
Thank you, Phyllis. Thanks to the Ethical Culture Society. I think it's fitting that I would follow Sophia to the podium and be her successor, because she is my successor at the Correctional Association. And I could be more pleased with the leadership that she's provided the organization that I spent so many years at. So good work, Sophia. Thank you. I'm also pleased to be here because I feel very connected to the Ethical Culture Society. My wife Barbara and I, Barbara's here amongst you, we're married.